You posted a lot about wanting to eliminate the filibuster. It hasn't happened. Are you disappointed in Leader?
Yeah, no, I'm disappointed. I like John a lot, but he has a couple of Republicans that are foolish people. A couple of them I like, a couple of them I can't stand, actually.
All right. We welcome back Wisconsin Senator, Mr. Ron Johnson. Senator Johnson, thank you, sir, for this. We appreciate it very much. I know your sentiment. We spoke on the radio not too long ago. You'd like to bust the filibuster. Okay, I get that. But I have a sort of a junior position on this. Why not bust the filibuster by a big, fat reconciliation bill with waste, fraud, corruption, all kinds of savings, across the board, additional tax cuts, capital gains, middle class, lower marginal tax rates, things like that. You know, voter ID, put that in there. You got to pay for it so it could qualify. In other words, I think the GOP needs good, hard, aggressive, pro-growth product for the midterms. That's what I'm thinking, Senator Johnson. I know you may not agree, but anyway, that's my going-in position. What say you?
No, Larry, I totally agree. And what we need to do right now is pass the skinny reconciliation to fund CBP and ICE through fiscal year 2029. We've already got the language. We can probably pass that not next week, the following week. The House can then take that up and pass as well. So let's get that done. Then move to a much larger reconciliation bill. The problem is we've got all these rules in reconciliation, just like the filibuster, and it's preventing us from doing what President Trump and the rest of us want to do to save this country from the Democrats. Now, first of all, I think you would agree. Every Republican would like to have the filibuster, the 60-vote threshold, if Democrats are in charge to stop their awful socialistic, destructive legislation. The problem is when Democrats are in that position, they're going to end the filibuster. And it's really not John Thune's fault. He's got people in our conference who don't want to basically hand that weapon to the Democrats. And they're hoping against all hope the Democrats won't end the filibuster. Yeah, I think I'm 110% sure they will. So we didn't have the votes, quite honestly, to end the 60-vote threshold for all nominations. And Democrats were so obstructionist, so obnoxious, that all of a sudden we had 53 votes. So we saw the results of the Indiana election. We'll see what happens in Texas. If President Trump puts more pressure, for example, we could not pass all the Save America Act through reconciliation. Can't be done.
Well,
okay?
I don't know that. I don't know that, Senator. You don't know that either. I mean, here's my point. First of all, I'd like to make it so that the Democratic Socialists don't carry the Senate, that they don't win. So I'm looking for product on growth and fighting fraud and corruption. And yes, I would attempt to get the voting rights through because it will require to implement rules with voter ID across the country and citizenship. You're going to need to spend money. It's a fiscal issue. You might be able to word it so the parliamentarian, give it a shot, at least bring it up to vote. Let the Democratic Socialists vote against it time and time again. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking for pro-growth product. I'm looking for anti-fraud, anti-corruption product. And to me, that's one big fat reconciliation bill. I don't know that you're going to get two swings at the ball, two bites out of the apple this year.
Well, Larry, again, I have no disagreement with you. I want to do those things as well, and I'm willing to push reconciliation. You know, what I want to tell my colleagues in the American public, we pretty well eviscerated the filibuster anyway.
Yeah,
it's no longer no threshold on nominations. Everybody's pushing reconciliation beyond any other bounds. There's not much left other than to prevent us from, for example, passing the full Save America Act. Yeah, we can do some things. We can induce, with budget dollars, people having voter ID. But again, the full Save America Act probably cannot be passed. A bunch of other things couldn't. Again, there are just so many stupid rules. We can't touch discretionary spending.
Well, maybe you can.
Only mandatory. There's so many things that just prevent us from doing what we should do. I say rip off the Band-Aid. There's not one state that has supermajority votes for all legislation. There's some that require it for raising taxes, which I agree with. But again, those states are able to function mainly because they have to balance their budget, which is one thing the federal government can't do. One of the reasons we're in such peril.
By the way, one thing I really like, I had Rand Paul on last night. He's a fine gentleman. He agreed with me. How about first of all, inflation index the capital gains tax, but bring the capital gains tax down to 15%, bring the personal income tax down to 15%, at least the middle brackets, okay, and bring the corporate tax down to 15%. 15% across the board tax cuts, then you go into your waste, fraud, and corruption, and then hopefully you'll make a stab at the voter ID and the citizenship, maybe the parliamentarian, who knows? I'm just saying, I think, Senator Johnson, and I know you agree with this, the GOP needs product. It needs pro-growth, smaller government product. That's what I'm looking for. And there's some awfully popular things in that voter ID and keeping the border secure. You know that. I don't know that you can get just automatically by ending the filibuster, even if you could, but I don't think Republicans will end the filibuster. I don't know. Last word, Senator Johnson.
Well, again, happy to do another reconciliation. Let's get this one done to fund ICE and CBP, move immediately to what that is. And we'll need presidential leadership to tell us what does he want in that package, because there'll be a cacophony of sound in terms of people wanting to, so that'll also have to be pretty focused and targeted as well.
All right. I get it. I got you. Senator Ron Johnson, we appreciate it very much, sir. Take care. All right, folks.